Thank you, Kelly.
All right. County credit card options. We've got some quotes to look at. You'll find those somewhere towards the back of your...
Yeah, it's in the back. Actually, there's just one that came in. You know, what we're looking for is whether that's option is satisfactory, if you want us to seek out additional quotes. Hamilton State Bank, our local bank here, was interested in providing the finance department with a credit card at an 8.25% interest rate, which is a very good rate. We also contacted the Bank of Monticello. Oh, I should let you do this if you wanted to. The Bank of Monticello doesn't offer credit card services, so we wanted to give both of our local banks an opportunity to quote. Sharon also contacted the Bank of America, made multiple phone calls, emails to them, did not hear back. I guess that's why they're not doing so well. Farmers and Merchants Bank, we also did not hear back. So at this time we have one quote. We went ahead and put it back on the agenda to see if the board wants us to try and obtain other quotes or if this would be satisfactory.
Karen, talk to us about, Ms. Diggs, talk to us about the particulars of this card. Who has access to it? Will it be paid in full each month? Will we get an accounting each month? That sort of thing. Right.
It would be paid in full each month, and if any charges have been made, you know, what we would do is document our internal controls, which would be that the finance manager would get the invoice and any receipts that would go with any purchases. All of that would be given to the county manager each month for review and approval for payment as part of our internal control. We would have one card, and what I would recommend is, because it needs to be in someone's name, the bank needs a name on the card. And that's really secure anyway, because if you know, someone broke in and took the card, you don't want to have a card that's not specifically assigned to one individual. And my recommendation was that it be in the administrative services director's name rather than the county manager, because I need to review the invoices as an internal control. And the bulk of the purchasing that needs to be done on a credit card is typically done by Mrs. Robinson, because of booking travel arrangements for the board is one of our needs. Occasional purchases that, you know, are just not with folks that we might have a credit account with and buy from with a PO. But it's primarily for travel arrangements.
And you're already doing that now, Sharon, on your own card.
On her personal credit card.
That's not good business.
No. So I think it should be in her name, and then I would be the internal control to review all purchases that were made each month.
As you've seen the information presented, are there any questions that relate to that?
I know we looked at the quotes and stuff on the percentages.
Mm-hmm.
I know, based upon the need for the card, that in some cases employees are having to use their own. Have we looked at a prepaid card that we know it's a certain amount and that's it? A small limit?
We didn't. We just looked at a traditional credit card type configuration.
Recreation uses his personal card a lot, because a lot of stuff that he purchases.
Well, if you don't do a prepaid card, you better do it at a pretty decent amount, because there is the possibility of annual meeting, all of us going, and then recreation needing a big load of supplies.
And with that, if you know that's the case, if my understanding, I've never dealt with a prepaid card, but from what I understand, then you can put more on that if you know you need it.
And just load it up every month for what's projected to be spent that month.
Right.
And then you've got...
I think you still have the same, you know, internal control issues that need to be met. And what if you lost it and it's a prepaid card that has a dollar value on it? I would be concerned that if it got lost, somebody could spend every penny that's on it. And
I personally am
And
low.
you would see, I mean, you would see them come through on the check register just like any other invoice that's paid. But the internal control from an auditor standpoint would be me reviewing and reconciling all the receipts and agreeing that all the purchases were appropriate and were for county use.
I had a son with a prepaid card when he was in college, he could do a whole lot of good, so.
I've not ever used one myself.
All right, do I hear a motion to act on this request? Is there a motion? Well, then I'll offer a motion that we accept Hamilton's offer with the proviso that we get a copy of the statement each month and that it be paid in full each month. And I'll offer that motion. Is there a second to my motion?
I'll second for discussions.
All right.
Don't mean to put anybody on the spot that's in the audience. Is there can we, that card, the limit on that card?
It needs to be, excuse me.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know you were back
She's
there.
talking
I'm
back there.
sorry.
It needs to be stated in the minutes what the limit is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I'll amend my motion to put the limit at $5,000.
Is
I
that
think that
accurate
would be,
on a monthly basis?
I think that would be more than enough. And if it wasn't, we can come back and discuss it.
Yeah, if that's more than enough, we can always amend it later.
Well-
Yeah, I agree.
But
She said she didn't.
And
have to
only
do
if
that.
you've got a lot of folks traveling at one time.
Well, I mean, Jesse James don't work here.
Yeah.
They got to be an element
I
of
think
trust in this thing
5,000,
somewhere.
well, and I have a limit, you know, as county manager, that's a 5,000 limit. So I think that would be an appropriate amount. And if we see we're consistently nowhere near that, we can amend the limit down.
Well, it doesn't cost any more or any less, so
For purposes of the bank's requirements, we'll need to amend your motion.
I will amend my motion to put a $5,000 limit, spending limit on the card. Do I hear a second on that?
Per month.
Per month, yeah. But you just can't have, yeah, it's got to be
It's just
paid
a
off
credit
each month.
limit, yeah, that's right.
Paid off each month.
Is there a second on that?
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second on the floor. All in favor of that, signify by show of your right hand. All opposed, same sign. 3-2.
I got confused on our motion, Mr. Chairman. I thought we had,
Listen, I'm confused.
I thought we had a motion and a second by Craig, or Doug, one of the first one.
Craig.
Craig.
And then I amended that.
All right, when you amended it, though, you got a second from Mr. Tillman, didn't you?
Yeah.
Did I?
I think that he needs, Mr. Simon needs to okay the amendment.
You okay with that amendment?
Okay, that amendment.
I'm not trying to cut you out, Carl.
Well, listen,
Let's do it right.
I'm like a blind hog in the sunshine. You have to watch me. Do we need to vote again?
Need to enter on the record that Mr. Simon has accepted the amendment and then vote again.
Do we need to vote again?
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Salmon has amended the amendment, and we need to call the question again. All in favor, signify by show of your right hand. All opposed, same sign. The vote is still 3-2.
Thank you.